Hey, Mama, welcome back. This episode is going to light a fire under you because if you've ever wondered how to make fitness feel like a natural part of motherhood, so not just another to do list, we're talking habits, then this conversation is totally for you. Today, I am joined by the amazing Lindsey Bomgren, a fitness trainer, a mom, and the powerhouse behind Nourish Move Love. We are talking about the Keystone habit that changes everything and how fitness can fuel your energy, your confidence, and your everyday mom life. Enjoy today's episode. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos? Whether you're 4 weeks postpartum, 2 years in, or done having babies, you deserve to feel like yourself again. Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong Nourished Momma Podcast, where you'll find simple, science-backed strategies to heal your core, rebuild strength, and restore your energy without the overwhelm. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey mama, real quick, I want to remind you, movement isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually matters. It's about rebuilding your strength, which you need as a mom. You need that strength, restoring your energy, creating space for recovery so you can actually show up as your best self in motherhood and beyond. And that is exactly what I help you do inside the Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method. It's my 8-week group coaching program designed to help you rebuild your core and pelvic floor, fuel your body for energy, and create routines that actually work in real mom life. So if you are ready to move with purpose and finally feel strong and supported again, check out the link in the show notes or head to wellnessbyval.com/program to learn more. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back to the Strong and Nourished Momma Podcast. If you have been feeling stuck when it comes to exercising and fitness, you're struggling to find time for yourself, or you just wish fitness and exercise felt simpler, you're going to love today's episode. Fitness isn't just about looking a certain way. It's about fueling your motherhood journey. And Lindsey Bomgren knows this better than anyone. She is a mom, fitness trainer, and founder of Nourish Move Love. And she is here to show us how making movement a priority can transform not only your body, but your energy, your mindset, and motherhood. So let me read Lindsey's bio real quick, and then we will get into today's interview. Lindsey is a certified trainer and founder of Nourish Move Love, where she shares free, yes, that is right, mamas, you heard it right, free at-home workouts for women. As a busy mom of 3 littles, Lindsey has captivated the eyes of millions with her quick and effective home workouts that actually get results. She is a firm believer that fitness makes her a better wife, mother, friend, and community member, and she wants to share that with others. If you want to join the millions of women working out with Lindsey online, you can head to the show notes to see all of her resources. Now, enjoy today's episode. Hey, Lindsey, how are you? Thanks for being on the show today.
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. I am too. I've been following you for a while now, and I absolutely love your workouts. And I'm really excited to share all of your amazing knowledge with the listeners today. So let's go ahead and get into it. You have 3 young kids, you own your own business, you're constantly creating workouts for other moms, for other women. What does fitness actually look like in your current season of motherhood?
Yeah, great question. It's so funny. I actually just finished filming a live workout for our membership community, and someone at the end of the workout, we do a little live chat, and someone was like, how do you time your workouts? When do you work? It's asking the same question, and I was literally like, there are no rules. Ever like I try to go into my week with a plan. I like to sit down on Sunday, look at my calendar and like kind of map out a plan for my week, but there are no rules. Like some days it goes out the window, some days, there's a sick kid. Like it's literally I wish I could tell you there's this like picture perfect plan, but there isn't. It's like getting it done whenever I can. I like early morning workouts. Those are kind of my jam. I like getting up, having a little bit of mom time. I get up, I read my Bible, I do a quick workout in the basement, and then I'm like ready to get the kids out the door for school or to summer camps. And then I can get some work done with my team. I am going part time for summer, so I'm home with the kids more. So some days I want to sleep in, and then I'll just do a driveway workout. I'll literally bring my dumbbells up to the driveway and work out while they throw baseballs or have popsicles. And so it looks different every day. Some days I'm filming live workouts or I'm filming workouts for my community. So it really truly does look different. But I truly do the workouts that I share. So I'm working out 20 to 30, max 40 minutes a day, usually strength training. Strength training is my jam. I try to split train. So I try to at least hit legs one day, arms one day. If I have the capacity, I'll split up arms and I'll do a chest, shoulder, tri day. I like really split training focused workouts. I love strength. So I'm strength training at least 4 days a week. Some days I like to get one run in a week, and I'm talking like 3 miles, like a 5K. But that's just more for my mental health than anything, just getting out for a run to like clear the air. And that's it. I try to get my 10,000 steps a day, but honestly, with 3 kids, it's pretty easy between running stairs, doing laundry, chasing them to the park. Like that's how I get my 10,000 steps in. It's not a crazy amount of extra work outside of that besides chasing around my kids. So getting my steps in, doing some strength training. I love strength training. I love lifting heavy. Um, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
I joke all the time, like if you want your 10,000 steps, have a toddler. Right now I have an almost 2-year-old and chasing her around. And I can imagine, like you said, with 3 kids, right? You're always doing something. So it's pretty easy to get your steps in, which is super nice. But I like that you said it sounds like you're being pretty flexible, like movement and exercise is a priority to you. It's really important for mental health. And we're going to go into all of the details into movement and how that's a habit in your routines. But it sounds like because of that, it's super easy for you to be flexible with if you sleep in, you're able to get that workout in later in the day. So that's super awesome. I like that.
Yeah, my kids are kind of accustomed to like knowing that
Yeah.
mom's gonna work out at some point. So maybe it's early in the morning and they come down and I'm like finishing my workout, or maybe it's like doing
Mhm.
it while they eat lunch. But yeah.
It's part of your lifestyle, which is awesome.
Yes.
And that takes us to habits. So you've called fitness a keystone habit. And I love that language because it really shows how movement isn't just about the workout itself. It's way more than that. So can you explain to us what that means to you and why you think it's so important in motherhood?
Yeah. I think fitness is, like I said, a keystone habit. And that's a habit that's like a kind of a cornerstone. And when you can lock in and stick to that habit, it just raises the tide in every other area of your life. And I think that's the case for fitness because it raises when you say you're going to do something and you do it, like get up at 5 a.m., do the workout, and you actually do it day after day, it just naturally increases your self-esteem and your confidence. And I think that's so huge for women especially. And so following through and doing it just raises the tide, builds your confidence, also building your strength, which is a great side effect obviously. And then it just carries over to everything else that you do. In my experience, the days I get up and I get my workout in, I'm more energized, I'm more ready to play with my kids, I'm more agile and reactive, less reactive I should say, to how my kids behave. And so if someone flips over their plate at breakfast because they didn't want what I served them, I'm less reactive and I'm a lot more calm and able to handle that situation with so much more grace. And I don't know if that's just like the endorphins or what it is, but it's just like that for me. It's a keystone habit. It's a cornerstone in my life that like if I can stick to this consistent habit, I feel better about myself. I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife, and I'm just a better person to be around. And so I just think it just raises the tide in every other area of my life. And moms bear this like emotional and mental load that is kind of just like underground. It's not really seen. It's this load that we carry. And I think our backs are a lot stronger for carrying that load when we can strength train and care for ourselves.
And you can get that in, like you said, 20, 30, 40 minutes out of your day. Even if you split it up, I would imagine, like if I didn't have time to do, let's say it was your workout or my own workout for 30 minutes, I could do, okay, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon. But it really is a keystone habit because it helps us become more resilient. I'm definitely way more patient with my toddler and everything else in my life when I get in my movement. So I really like that you mention it as a keystone habit and something that moms can get in, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time either.
Yes, I will say this again and again, but I used to be so black and white in the sense of like all or nothing, has to be this 60-minute session, have to make this group fitness class, have to, and when you have a kid, obviously when you become a mom, that just shifts your perspective on things. but I will say it until I'm blue in the face. 10 minutes is greater than 0 minutes. And there are days where it's just 10 minutes and you just feel better after that 10 minutes. And it's that consistency that like I'm not going to go, multiple days without sticking to what I said I was going to do. And so 10 minutes is all you get some days and you do what you can, but it's just showing up on repeat.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. 10 minutes today, 20 tomorrow, 5 the next day,
Yes.
whatever it is. That's what's going to help you keep that habit consistent, which is what's going to be helpful. I know a
Yes.
lot of moms in our community are trying to build routines that work for their families and work with their lifestyle. And it's not always easy, as you know, but how do you set yourself and your family up for a successful week when it comes to movement and routine? So you said right now you're in the summer months, you have a summer schedule. It's a little bit different, but is there anything else that you're doing besides looking at your week on Sundays to set you up for success for the busy week?
Yeah. I mean, I am very routine driven, and I used to be and still somewhat am a rigid thinker in the sense that, like, I have a plan. I like to stick to my plan. I plan my week out every Sunday. I plan out my meals on Friday for the week ahead. Like, I'm just a routine driven person. I eat almost the same thing on repeat. I'm boring, but it's what works for me, and I like routines. But I think the biggest thing I've learned over time in becoming a mom is that it's not only consistency. I'm really good at consistency, but it's adaptability. And when you can combine consistency and adaptability, it's this magic formula, right? Because like even and that goes for your workouts too, like consistently showing up, but like not every day on do I have 100% to give to my workout, or maybe I'm tired, or maybe I'm sore, or maybe the baby didn't sleep last night, or maybe my kid had an accident, or I have a sick kid. Like there's so many life circumstances that consistency and adaptability together make this perfect match of like, I'm consistently going to show up and I'm going to adapt to what I have today. And maybe that's 80%, maybe that's 50%, maybe it's 100%. And that's like the magic formula. But within that, I believe in preparation. So I'm a huge planner. I think self discipline is one of the greatest forms of self love that we give ourselves. And so I set myself up, I look at my week, and I give myself usually 3 to 4 days a week where I'm looking at the 5:30 a.m. alarm clock. And then I give myself 2 to 3 days where I let myself sleep in. And I'm looking at more of like a 6 or 7 a.m., maybe even alarm clock, depending on my kids' schedules. We're a little bit more loosey goosey in the summer with like sleeping in and, kids' summer camps and schedules. But I try to consistently stick to those early mornings where I get up, I read my Bible, I work out, I get breakfast ready for the kids. I get them off to summer camp or whatever. I'm working. And then there's days where it's like, okay, we're going to sleep in today. I'll sleep in. The kids are sleeping in. We have a slower morning, maybe at home. And then I'm doing a workout over my 3-year-old's nap time or while the kids are eating lunch or having popsicles in the yard. And so it's really just like this, but I plan it out ahead of time. I know which days are the early days. I know which days are my sleep in days. And so I have this plan going into the week. And of course, it doesn't always go according to plan, but having the plan helps and having those specific dedicated times. Like I know I'm going to get it in here. I know I'm going to get it in here. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of planning and preparation on top of trying to be adaptable.
I always tell my clients more time now is less time later. So if we can prep, like you said, on Fridays for the busy week ahead and then be okay with flexibility and then adapting to what comes that week, because as a mom, who knows what's going to hit you, and especially in the summertime. But I like that you have the scheduled mornings. On these days, I'm definitely going to get up. And then on these days, I'll allow some flexibility. If you get up early, great, awesome. Otherwise, it's going to be another time of the day. And I think that's
Yeah.
important for moms to understand. It doesn't have to be this perfect plan. And then if you have this plan and you didn't follow it to a T, you're not a failure for not following it, right?
Yeah. And I found that for myself, like getting up at 5:30, 7 days a week does not work for me. My body needs sleep. Like I need sleep and I really have to prioritize sleep. Like it's the best way I recover. It's how I don't get sick, like so much. And so that burns me out. If I just go on repeat with that 5:30 alarm, I get burnt out. And so I know that I give myself 2 to 3 days a week where I'm like sleeping in and workouts are going to happen over lunchtime or sometime else.
I'm the same way. Like sleep is my number one priority. And if it's if it's a certain time at night, I'm like, okay, I got to stop what I'm doing. I got to go to sleep. And I'm a morning workout. I like to work out in the mornings as well. But if it's like that 7 days a week, like you said, forget it. It's not going to be something that I'm going to be able to be consistent with because it's very difficult because I'm not sleeping. I think it's helpful for moms to hear from someone who's like you, who's super consistent, and you're also able to be flexible and adapt to what's coming to you every single week. Have there been seasons where you've fallen out of rhythm with fitness? And if so, did that affect you in other areas of your life, whether it was mentally, emotionally, or even logistically?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, of course everyone goes through seasons and I'm not always motivated. Fortunately, working out is part of my job. And so like I have to show up. I have to work out. There's scheduled live workouts, there's scheduled film days. And so some of that is like my accountability partner, which is really great. Like I have this built-in accountability partner. But there's seasons of life we've all gone through, specifically for me, postpartum, where you have to recover. You just had a baby. And I found that in those seasons for me, fitness has been a consistent throughout my life. I played sports in high school into college. I was always athletic. And the minute that stopped for me and like no one was pushing me, I didn't have a goal. I really struggled like mentally. I got depressed. I didn't feel great, like all these things. And so I got really into like training for marathon. I always had to have this like goal at hand. Currently, I don't have a goal other than like training for life and trying to keep up with my kids and put on muscle and just be a strong, healthy mom. And so that's like my goal now. But during those seasons of postpartum, especially after my first baby, because I think you don't know, like you think you're just gonna like, yeah, I got this, right? But that like was taken away from me, that consistent of being told, like you need to rest, you need to recover, and which you genuinely do. But I found that for me, like I just needed to move, whether it was gentle stretching, whether it was, I just needed time away from the baby and for myself to just move and start to feel my body getting back to somewhat normal or feeling like myself again. Fitness is just it's been a consistent throughout my life. And when it's taken away, I struggle definitely mentally. I had a knee surgery almost 3 years ago now. And that was like more mentally challenging than physically challenging was, I couldn't squat, I couldn't lunge, I couldn't do all these things that I was used to doing. And that was just like a huge mental struggle for me. And so it's really was like shifting to what I can do and focusing on what I can do. But especially in the postpartum seasons, fitness was never about getting my body back. It was never about the bounce back. Fitness was my mental health. It was my mental outlet. It was the consistent thing in my life that I could hang on to while chaos was ensuing around me. My sleep was gone. My whole body had changed. My selfish, daily routine had changed into caring for this little human. And so it's just been like the consistent in my life that provides mental stability almost as much as any physical benefits.
I like that you share that because there are going to be, especially as a mom, for anyone, obviously, but especially as a mom, our seasons are going to change and they're going to change very quickly from early postpartum to when you have a 1-year-old to right now I have a 2-year-old who's in a big girl bed and sleep is very inconsistent. It's all over the place. But how can we continue with our movement and our exercise even during those hard seasons? Because if there's one thing for sure, it's going to be change and it's going to be difficult seasons. And so I like that you mentioned in the postpartum period, still being able to move. And that was more than anything, not bouncing back, not getting your body back, but more than anything, that therapy, right? The mental connection to your body of, okay, I just need like 10 minutes to do diaphragmatic belly breathing, or I just need 5 minutes to connect with my breath and do these 2 exercises. I think that's something that we can easily integrate in our busy seasons as moms.
Yeah. I think it's like one of the greatest gifts that I now get is to be in this little screen in someone's home when they're going through that season. Cause I went through a really rough postpartum season, especially after my first. And fitness was like my saving grace in that season. And now I feel like I have the ability to share that with other moms and women's because it can be really isolating when you're home alone, your husband goes back to work, and here you are at home with this baby, and you feel like you've just turned into like this feeding, like a milk cow. You're like, I just sit in this chair and feed this baby all day and I have no purpose. And, it can feel really isolating, but I feel like I get this like really special opportunity to just tell another mom or another woman. I may be the only other person that says like, good job. Like you can do this. You're so strong. And just like speak life and encouragement into what can be a really dark, isolating season.
It is a very dark and isolating season. So to be able to have that and connect, like you said, even through a screen it's a big impact. I did your workouts. It was in the living room. I didn't even go in the garage because it was around summertime when I had my little one, and it's very hot here. So we were in the living room and she's doing tummy time. And I'm like, mommy needs this time. I need like 5 minutes. And you like, you were on the screen, right? But it's still like you were right there being super motivating. And I'm like, yes, okay, I can do this. I can do what she's saying, or I have this encouragement. So I'm super grateful that you do what you do because it is very, very helpful, as you know. As a mom of three, you're modeling so much through your daily habits. You've mentioned this, that exercise is your keystone habit and something that your kids see you doing. Like, okay, mom's going to get in some movement, mom's taking care of herself. And usually you have your kids in the background, right? Or I think one workout you were holding your kid on your Instagram. And so I want to know what you hope your kids learn from watching you move and take care of your body.
Yeah. We always talk about this, like, they'll ask, like, why do you have to work out? Why can't you play with us? And we're like, this is mommy and daddy's time. And this is so we can stay strong and healthy and we can keep playing with you for many years. So I can race you down the street, so we can jump with you, so we can play flag football with you. And just instilling in them that, like, this is for mom. We have heart disease runs in my family, and being like, this is for my heart health, to keep mommy's heart strong. This is to keep my muscles strong and my body strong. And they've seen both my husband and I. My husband plays volleyball at a professional level, and they've seen, like, both of us get injured, his back, and they've seen my knee, and, like, they've seen what happens when we've been taken out by injury. And so it's a lot of, like, this is to prevent injury, this is to keep us strong and healthy, this is to keep our bodies so healthy. And we talk about, like, God gave us a mission, like, God gave us a calling here, and this is to keep, like, in order to, like, really live out our best self and our best calling, and to really do what God put us on this earth to do, we have to be strong, we have to be healthy. And so just hoping that they see that, like, consistency and hard work, like, matter. And it doesn't just, like, we don't get to be, strong and healthy just, like, passively. It's really actively, like, you actively have to take care of yourself. And that it takes hard work. I hope that they learn hard work more than anything. Like, I want them to be hard workers. I want them to be consistent. I want them to respect their body and respect other people's bodies. And yeah, that they learn that, it matters. And you can't do what God put you here to do if you don't take care of yourself.
I think that's really important for moms to understand because I think when it comes to exercise and not having enough time and the million things that we have on our to-do list, exercise and movement or self-care for moms is usually put on the back burner. And so even if you can get that 10 minutes, if your kid is watching you, it's showing them that you care for yourself, but you're also caring for them and you're teaching them everything that you just said, the discipline, everything for them now in childhood to when they get older. And it doesn't seem like a lot or that it's really impacting them that much, but from someone who's seen it when I was growing up with my parents who were super active, I mean, it's my lifestyle now. So I think that's awesome that you're able to show your kids that and that they're able to see, okay, mom and dad are getting in their movement. We're able to play. We're able to be strong. And it's doing so many other things for them without them even realizing it. So we both know that moms often feel guilty for taking time for themselves, like I said. So even if it's just those 10 minutes of movement, how would you personally respond to guilt? Or if a mom is saying, man, I feel guilty for taking that time, what would you say to another mom who is feeling that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all, there's so much, mom shame or guilt that comes with anything. Every time I drop my kids off at school, I'm like, am I really doing the right thing? Like, I think God put me here to do this. And I think that, like, this is my mission field, and I love what I get to do, and I love my job. But, like, I always get this, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, and I totally get that. I used to teach at a gym. I used to teach in-person classes, and I'd have to drop my kids off in the nursery down there so I could go teach a class upstairs. And I'd be like, oh, should I be hanging out with my kids right now? And I think that's the beauty of home workouts. And that's why I love home workouts so much, is, like, your kids can be playing right around you. They can still be, they're a part of it. They can be part of it. And it doesn't have to necessarily separate you from them. Like, it's just part of the lifestyle that they see. My kids know that every time if we run to the park, I'm usually doing some type of, like, 10 to 15-minute park workout. Like, we run to the park, they bike to the park, we get there, I do my pull-ups on the monkey bars, I do my squats or step ups, and then I run around and play lava monster. But, like, it's just a part of our routine too. Like you said, it's a lifestyle too. But I think as soon as you start making it a consistent habit, and as soon as you start seeing the changes in yourself, the confidence build in yourself, the self-esteem, the muscle gains, the strength, the like all these things, it's all positive side effects. Like as soon as you see this positive uptick of of your of your own mental and physical well-being, it just spills over to your kids, right? Like the days that I want to be more active with them. I want to play with them, after I get my workout in. Like I'm so much more, I'm not just sitting on the sidelines, I'm jumping in the pool. And so it's just like, it just benefits everybody. It's a keystone habit. And so starting with 10 minutes, whatever it is, but like that whole guilt of like taking time for yourself, 30 minutes is so small in the grand scheme of all the other minutes in a day, right? And so if you're pouring out to everybody else for all these other minutes and you're serving everybody else, like if you can take that time to build yourself up, it literally spills over. And it just, for me, it exponentially makes me a better wife, a better mom, a better community member, a better neighbor, a better boss, like you name it. I think it just spills over, and so much good comes from it.
So don't feel guilty if you are wanting to take 10 minutes for yourself. And if that's movement or whatever that looks like for you, because as Lindsey said, it's going to spill over into every other aspect of your life. And it's going to more than likely be a positive impact instead of a negative one. So, okay, to take those 10 minutes for yourself. And you have 10-minute workouts, right? And programs?
Yes. Yeah, we actually just published a post like called micro workouts. That was like a kind of a
Cool.
trend, but it's like 5 to 10 minute workouts. But yes, we have on our site, you can literally filter by like 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minute, 30 minute, whatever you have time for. There is a workout. And I always will say 10 minutes is better than no minutes. And on the days I don't feel like working out, I'm like 10-minute rule. I'm going to go do it for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, if I'm like truly gassed and I don't feel it, I'll quit and I'll go for a walk. But after 10 minutes, I 9 times out of 10 feel better and I just keep going.
You're like, I'm already here. I might as well continue to do it. So it can be something, if you're listening to this and you want to start out, if movement hasn't been part of your routine, then maybe going to Lindsey's website, which I'm going to put in the show notes, all of the information, and starting with 10-minute programs. And then from there, you can either repeat it or then work your way up to the 15 minutes and then the 20 minutes. And then you'll be able to see the physical strength gains, the resiliency, the mental capacity that you're having. And then of course, how that's impacting the rest of your life. So that's awesome that you have that. I think that's amazing. I love the micro breaks and the micro workouts.
It's been, yes, our whole mission was to make workouts free and accessible to women who are in the thick of raising littles in busy seasons.
What are some of your favorite go-to strategies or small habits that have helped you stay grounded in your routine?
Yeah, I kind of have like my daily mantra, which is like I wake up early, and I don't, like I said, every day, but like I wake up early because I know I need that me time when the house is quiet. I read my Bible, like my true north is, like my worth is not found in my appearance, the worldly things, my achievements, my successes. Like my worth is found in in being a daughter of God. And I work hard. And so I get my workout in, I work hard for my team, I work hard for my business, and I'm kind and generous to those around me. That's like, just like my mantra I try to live by, and to keep that like my true north. Like if I can stick to those values on a daily basis, I have been successful. And so just having, I think you just like need a mantra or some type of daily, that's just like I wake up early, I read my Bible, I work hard, I'm kind and generous.
It's nice to be able to wake early and have your own time. It just prepares you for the busyness of the day, whatever's coming at you. So I think it's always nice to be able to do, even if it's 5 minutes, stretching, breathing, reading your Bible, journaling, walking. Those 5 to 10 minutes can be super powerful in the early morning. For a mom listening right now, feeling stuck or discouraged, what would you say to her?
I would say, we're all carrying like this bucket full of water, responsibilities, whatever it is. And we all have holes. Like we all have areas of our life. Maybe it's sleep, and like sleep is not an option right now. Like we all have holes in our bucket. It could be sleep, it could be work stress, it could be just adult decisions. It could be the mental load. It could be, we all have like holes in our bucket. And it's just finding the biggest hole. Like, what is the biggest hole in your bucket right now that is stealing your joy? Is it the lack of sleep? Can you negotiate with your husband to trade nights like with the baby, or like finding your biggest hole in the bucket that's stealing your joy? There's always like, and when I'm in a funk, when I'm in a like, there's always something that's stealing my joy, and it's trying to like address that. Like, what is the biggest hole in my bucket, and how can I clog that hole a little bit? And it's not always perfect, right? Like there, but how can I clog that hole a little bit to bring myself some joy back? And for me, it is like scheduling something daily. Like we spend all this time pouring out to everybody else, and like scheduling something daily that brings me joy. Like, what is that daily thing that just fills my cup a little bit? And for me, it's that, like you said, it's those morning hours. It's getting up, it's reading my Bible with a hot cup of tea, and it's getting my workout in. And then my bucket is ready to like flow out and fill everybody else's, and feed the kids and clean up and do the laundry. And I serve with such a more joyful heart. I serve my family with such a more joyful heart when I get that moment of joy, or that moment that fills my bucket. So it's like acknowledging what your biggest hole is. Maybe it's lack of sleep, maybe it's work stress, whatever it is, and seeing how asking for help, which is like women's biggest default hard thing to do, but like asking for help to get that hole filled some way, or to find something else that, so we all go through hard seasons. There's postpartum, there's, motherhood, there's so many tough, challenging life transitions. And it's just finding that, how can you just make it a little bit better?
Thanks
What
for
did you
sharing
used to do it? Like,
that.
what did you used to do as a kid? Like for me, there's sometimes like, I know that I'm such a busybody, and I'm such a like, if I am in my house with my kids, I'll start doing laundry, or I'll start whatever. And then the kids are nagging, and then they start acting out. And I'm like, my kids need my attention right now.
Mhm.
Everybody get on a bike. We're going to the park. Like then I'm distraction free. I can't do laundry. I can't do dishes. Like I just need to give my kids attention. And so it's like just finding what it is for you. Like I can be such a productivity aholic that sometimes I literally have to physically remove myself from my environment to be like super present with my kids.
I think finding the biggest hole in your bucket is a good place to start, because as a mom, it's very overwhelming, as you know, and with many holes in our bucket, it can be easy to try and clog each hole, and then you're not really getting anything done. And so if you find the biggest hole, okay, this one is stealing my joy. This one I really need to focus on. What's one small, small thing that I can do? Like you said, with just asking your husband to take nights, or asking for help in this area, or even maybe taking things off your plate, or doing a 10-minute workout, right? Something that's really going to help support that one area in that bucket, versus trying to do it all, because that's where it's going to be super messy.
Yeah. There's one thing that, like, for me, it was like, I got a house cleaner, and it changed my, like, there was like, I was feeling the mental load of like the groceries, the meal plan, all the things, cleaning the house, doing this. I felt like I was constantly just running around picking up after everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday mornings, my husband would be like, I just want to sit and have a cup of coffee as a family. And I'm like, well, if we want to get to baseball and soccer by this time, the house, toilets haven't been scrubbed and two, whatever. And so, like, offloading that off my plate and hiring someone to do it filled a huge hole that was like gapping in my, and I was like, oh, finally, like I can know every 2 weeks. Like I don't, like it's great. Greatest thing ever.
That's what I've heard. I haven't gotten one yet, and I've been thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, because it takes so much time on top of everything else. And it is stealing that moment of joy for you to be able to sit down with your family and enjoy a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, right? And so being able to offload that, or have someone else help, even if it does, take a little extra time or effort or money, right? It can still be helpful in the long run. So thanks for sharing that. This conversation has been absolutely amazing. I love talking with you. And I think this episode is going to be very helpful for moms to be able to understand how they can integrate fitness, movement, even if it's just 10 minutes, into their lifestyle, and have it a keystone habit in their own life, not only for themselves, but for their family. So thank you so much, Lindsey, for taking the time to be on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was so fun to chat with you.
Hey, Mama, real quick before you go, I just really hope that you got something out of today's interview with Lindsey. It was such an inspiring conversation. And I like how she reminded us that fitness isn't just about the workouts, going to the gym and exercising. It's really about building strength that carries into every part of motherhood and every part of our lives as women. If today's episode spoke to you, it is your reminder that you don't have to do this journey alone. Share this episode with a mom friend who needs some encouragement, and be sure to hit follow so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep moving with purpose, give yourself grace, and remember, you are strong, Mama. Hey mama, I hope you loved today's episode. If you got something out of it or simply enjoyed listening, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom who could use the support? And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in. It truly means the world to me and it helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to go chase my toddler around, stay strong and nourished, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.